much more likely he's going to be looking for a knockout right down to the final bell.
Venga, esas manitos, venga desde afuera. Puntuando, puntuando, venga.
And it's got to that crucial point now. Cris Davies is not stupid. He knows how the fight has developed, and he must realise that he will probably need something a little bit special. Bang, good left hook from him. Good solid punch that, but not perfect. And once again, Davies not doing enough work. He's only ever, by the way, boxed. The furthest he's ever boxed is 6 rounds. So I suppose that's something of a worry for him as well, to suddenly be here in a 10-round match against a man that's stone heavier, live on Eurosport. It's all fairly new to Cris Davies and possibly quite daunting. Switch to southpaw there from the Welshman, but back again to orthodox. And Osie now punching pretty well. Back into the ropes, and he's fancying this one now, Osie. Lovely work now. Beautiful work this by Manuel. Oops, and Davies almost falling over his own feet there. Yes, a big round for Manuel then. Big round, 69 now, plays 65. 4 points in it, 3 to go. Spain, and here's a bit of replay from round 7. And it was a very good round, this, for Manuel, principally because he landed good shots like that. But moreover, Cris Davies didn't do an awful lot of work. The reasons for that may have been apparent in what I'd said prior to it, the fact that he's never gone beyond 6 rounds professionally, and this is a big moment for him. Round 8 of this scheduled 10-round cruiserweight contest. Cris Davies from Wales in the blue trunks, out to try and claw back a 4-point deficit, in my opinion, against Manuel Osie. And I did say that Davies would be looking for a knockout sooner than later, and that point has already arrived. And still, I think Cris has done a very good job. And of course, experience counts for so much. And with Manuel having had almost twice as many fights as Cris Davies, at a pretty high class as well, and is using that experience very well here. Don't forget, he beat a former WBO champion in Marcus Bott. He beat Jean-Marc Mormek, who's a European, if not world champion, waiting to happen. Also beat a useful Dutchman, William Kreinen, and Darren Ashton, of course. And not to forget, last time out, the tough Irishman Ray Kane. So, lots of good form on the Manuel Osie record. Nothing quite as spectacular, of course, as that win that Davies picked up against Neville Brown, the comebacking Neville Brown, who on the night simply made a mistake. Yes, it's worth mentioning that Byron Mitchell, beaten recently by Bruno Girard, the former European champion. He's just lost his world title, in fact, to Girard. Girard already beaten by Mormec. And on the line, well, that's another story. Let's forget about it. Let's keep on this one. But as we've seen here, Manuel Osie's by no means past his best. As I say, I think he's probably at his peak at 31 years of age. Let's call that 20... Sorry, let's call that... Just trying to work it out. 28 years of age. Trying to make him old before his time here. Yeah, another round then, I'm afraid, for... well, not afraid, I just think that Manuel Osie has got 79 points now, and 74, 5-point gap now in favour of him over Cris Davies with 2 rounds to go. So that knockout looming ever nearer, or that the need for one looming ever closer. There is, of course, the odd light at the end of the tunnel for Cris Davies, who does get through with the odd very nice-looking shot. But so round 9, then, this is the penultimate session. And the prospect of Cris Davies actually scoring a knockout here seems terribly remote. There's so many things against him, of course, as far as a knockout is concerned. Osie being the bigger, stronger man, more experienced, of course, and with a pretty good survival instinct, I'd say. And really, Davies needed to stay with the pace from round 4 onwards, which is really where he let it slip. There was nothing in the fight, in my opinion, after 3 rounds, but then suddenly Osie took over and started to put them all together. And again, it's volleys like that that have done it. Nothing particularly special, but just good, solid, hard work. And he's absolutely loving it out there now. Well, almost doing an alley shuffle. I suppose that's an Osie shuffle. Don't forget, an alley shuffle never won a fight. But the crowd love it, don't they? And he's really got them going now. And it's been a good crowd in Vigo for this. So, experience, though, this is the kind of experience you cannot buy if you're a man in Cris Davies' position. He'll watch this a few times, I imagine, and will have learnt a great deal from it, and it'll make him an awful lot more successful, I think, in the future. And now Cris Davies is not really working there on the inside. Wants to have a bit left for the final round, of course. Knows that probably the fight is already lost, so wants to get through it and ensure he gets through it. And he's sticking nice and close here, preventing any leverage that Osie might fancy. But then, having said that, this is a boxing match after all, and if upsets didn't exist, the word wouldn't be in the dictionary. Oh, good work again then from Davies. Suddenly, oh goodness me, a beautiful right hand from Cris Davies right on the bell. But another round there for Osie, I think.